Hey world, welcome to another installment of Lost Speaks. I'm your host, Terrell. Before I get started, today's episode will be available on all streaming platforms as well as you will be able to see a visual on our YouTube page. So this is going to be video and audio. Not every episode is going to be like that, but we're going to start switching up. Like certain episodes are going to be video and audio, and certain episodes are just going to be audio only. You know, it's going to depend on what the episode's about, really, and which ones I feel the need to be video and audio. So we're going to do it that way, right? But before we get into the topic, I do want to let y'all know, if you are in the city of Chicago or surrounding areas, that I do have a show on October 7th. I will be performing October 7th at Ambitions Entertainment. That's 4024 Sauk Trail in Richardson Park, Illinois. So I'll be performing there. It's the Hip Hop Fest Part 2. It's hosted by Solo Heights, Bonnie BB, and LSC, you know. And it's also we also celebrating an artist by the name of Landscape Luch and Shade Room. It's their birthdays. It's their birthday celebration plus the Hip Hop Fest. So we gonna turn up. Like I say, I'm performing. It got a dope lineup of performers, man. So I'm not gonna name all the performers right now at this second, but I will have promo on my social media so y'all can see all the performers and all that. But if y'all in the Chicago and surrounding areas, come out and support your boy, and see me do the other thing I love in addition to podcasting. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, but today's episode is entitled Rotation. And this episode is dedicated to all the artists out there who are dropping dope projects. Now, there's a lot of artists who have dope projects. They have they drop great projects and great music. And over here at Lost Speaks, we support artists, and I tap into artists because I love the culture and I love the music I've been hearing. And a lot of independent artists are actually on my Apple playlist, and a lot of them, I have their albums in steady rotation alongside my favorites like Bone Thugs and Harmony. Like if you look in my Apple, you will see Busy Bone's new album, and you will see a person's album like Troche. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna share with y'all some of the albums that's in my rotation, and I'm gonna leave the information in the episode details so y'all can check these projects out too. So I'm going to leave the name of the albums in the description so y'all can check these albums out as well. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna leave all the information in there. I'm gonna leave the artist names and information in the description of the episode, so y'all gonna be able to check it out. So we ain't gonna hold it up, man. Let me let y'all know about the albums that's in my rotation and steady playing. I'm gonna break down some of my favorite tracks from the album. Now, here's the thing about this episode, though. I'm gonna tell y'all some of the albums, I didn't pick songs from the albums because it was too hard to pick a favorite from some of these albums. That's just how it is, y'all. It was just too hard to pick some favorites from some of these albums, so I did pick them. And I'm going to name roughly 12 albums that's in my rotation. I have more, but I only picked 12. And this list that I have is not in any type of order. It's not based on clout. This is not a clout list at all. This is I listened to the album, I enjoyed it, and I'm sharing with y'all what I enjoy. All right. So let's get to it. Oh, so of course, albums that I'm not going to go into detail on that are in rotation, of course. I can't do an episode about album rotations and not mention my team. So shout out to Charismatic. He got a dope project out entitled Durable. I'm featured on 2 tracks on that album, Bring It to the Table and What They Say. So I'm featured on them too. So, you know, that's in rotation. That's Charismatic, Durable. So, of course, that's in rotation. We're not going to go into detail about that album right now. And Unique Soul has an EP that came out. It's entitled, Accountability. I actually, I co-wrote a track on that album called Exposed. So, you know, y'all go check my team out, of course. But we're not going into detail because, of course, they have in rotation. They're part of my team. That's a given. But let's get to these albums that I got in rotation, y'all. So these albums that are in rotation, let me pull up this list. Like I said, I got about 12 of them. So we're going to talk about these. We're going to start off. I'm going to start off with the artist of the month. Troche. Got to start off with Troche. Troche is a dope artist, y'all. Troche is a dope artist. He's been making waves in the city. I first got introduced to Troche's music. Well, not even Troche music itself, but I got introduced to Troche. He was in a group called is in a group rather called Bald Head Niggas with Beards. There's a dope track they got out called Concrete Jungle. Dope track. I suggest y'all go check that out, Concrete Jungle. But I first heard Bald Head Niggas with Beards on Heat Check. On Heat Check, shout out to Ren Terry and DJ K Caesar. I was watching Heat Check one day and they was talking about this group, BHNWB, Bald Head Niggas with Beards. And they played this song, and I'm like, man, who is this group? And who is this group? Is this music out? Where can I find it? And I went to look for their music, and I found it. And it was dope. It was dope. So I'm listening to that. And then Troche comes out with a song called Pray For Me. And I'm like, okay, that's one of the dudes from that Bald Head Niggas with Beards group. Okay. And I'm listening to Troche, right? And I'm like, that song is deep and dope. It's like, I've been dealing with a whole lot, better pray for me. 10 toes in, don't know, gotta let it go. I know I probably messed the words up, but y'all get the point, right? So I'm listening to Troche. And I'm like, man, this dude is dope. And now everybody is getting what I'm trying to say, trying to get are getting in tune with this guy Troche, right? And everybody talking about this guy Troche, and talking about the song Pray For Me. And this song is like heavily requested. Everybody every time you see Troche, you want to hear Pray For Me. And so he starts getting a reputation. Now people start telling me about him. And I link in with him, I link into his music myself, and I'm like, okay, this is a dope artist. Want to see what else he got. So I see him perform. He got the whole crowd rocking. Like he got like a whole thing where they calling him Mr. New Bop. And then I'm like, okay, why are y'all calling him New Bop? He drops an album called Panoptic. And when I tell you, I check out this album Panoptic, and I tell you Panoptic, that album, that is why that man is called Mr. New Bop. Because them songs on that album is some bops, bro. That is some bops for you. I'm telling you, I vibed the whole album. From the production of the album to the delivery of that man's lyrics. I'm like, man, this album is there's not nothing to mess with. This is a dope project. Instantly download it. So I go in, and what I did was I went in, I listened to the album, right? And 3 songs that stood out to me on the album were While We Grind, All in My Drip, and Pray For Me, of course. Now, While We Grind, I felt that because it's like the way he delivered the lyrics in While We Grind. You could feel the emotion through that song and him telling you why he grind, basically. You know what I'm saying? That was why that song stuck out to me. So them are the 3 songs from that album. That is Troche, Panoptic. Y'all make sure to go cop that. And I'm starting with him because he's the artist of the month. And as much a fan I am as Troche, my wife is just a bigger fan of Troche as well. And she actually picked him as artist. She actually suggested we make him artist of the month. She say he killing it out there. He got to be artist of the month. He killing it out there. I'm like, you know what? Troche is killing it, and Troche is a dope artist. Let's make him artist of the month. That's simple. That's as simple as that, right? So shout out to Troche or Troche, because you got to say his name with the emphasis. You can't say it no other way. You got to say it with emphasis. But since we on the bald head niggas with beards trend, I got to talk about this guy, Doty G Mac. Doty G Mac is also a member of the group Bald Head Niggas with Beards. Now, I'm going to tell you one thing, Chicago, the city of Chicago. I am disappointed. Sorry for the pause, but I'm disappointed in the city of Chicago. Doty G Mac's album, The Odyssey, was not talked about enough when it dropped. I felt like it dropped. A couple of people said something about it, but I felt like it didn't make the waves as opposed to. I felt like the city of Chicago should have got more behind this project, because it was a dope project. Where was the love, and how come I didn't see? I didn't see. In my opinion, I didn't see the right energy for that album, and that album should have had way more attention because it was a dope project. I mean, it was a dope project. I can't even begin to say what was so dope about the project. It gave me, some of the songs gave me spiritual vibes. And I could see why he called it the Odyssey, almost like he was trying to take you on a journey with his music in the album. And of course, he got, I believe Long Road was a single, but that was one of my favorite ones on there. And I mean, if you listen to what he said, I done reached my break point. I done had enough. And I can't remember the rest of the words, but it stood out to me because the delivery of that song and the passion in that, man. Long Road, it's like this album, listen to this album, and it's going to take you on a journey, and it's going to take you into a more of a spiritual way of thinking. But another one of my favorite songs on there is a song that he got featuring this guy by the name of Dey Akbar. And that song right there, man, I'm going to tell y'all about that song real quick. Get it right. If you are a fan of the chopper flow, you know, I'm talking about that type of Twister, Tech Nine, Busy Bone, Crucial Conflict type flow, you will love the song Get Right by Doty G Mac featuring Dey Akbar. Working on the stool one late night, I'm out of my purpose, fighting these verses. I'm telling you, that's just the hook I was telling y'all. But if you go to the verses, he was like, music is my motivation, not money is my occupation or something. I'm like, I'm not trying to mess the man's words up, so I'm not gonna get into what he was saying. But Dey Akbar was talking about all the love he got from a single he dropped called Flowers. Check out Dey Akbar's music as well, though. He got a song called Flowers I suggest y'all check out. But that song and them two together, the chemistry on that song was heavy. And that makes that one of my favorite tracks on that album. Get Right is my favorite track on Odyssey. So shout out to Doty G Mac on the Odyssey, y'all. Shout out to that, man. That was a dope project. And I'm disappointed in my city because I'm like, y'all didn't get behind this project. I didn't see enough love. Maybe I didn't follow the people that showed this album love, but I felt like it didn't get the right amount of attention. I don't know. I don't know all the platforms. I don't know. Like I said, I don't even really know Doty G Mac like that. I don't even know him. I don't really know the guy. I know of his music, and I know of Bald Head Niggas Beers, but Doty G Mac, he the guy that was singing the actual chorus on the Concrete Jungle song. But I do know that this album should have got way more attention than it got. But you know what I'm saying? But like I said, I rest my case on that one, but Chicago, y'all slept on that one. And I'm going to tell my city, y'all slept on that. But the rest of the world that's listening, though, don't sleep on Doty G Mac album Odyssey. Go cop that. I'm going to also, like I said, y'all gonna find the information in the episode description. Y'all gonna find the information for these albums in this description, as long as I can find them. But y'all slept on that Chicago. I'm just gonna tell y'all. I'm very disappointed y'all slept on that. So let's keep going, but let's keep it going, man. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Since I'm in that vein of slept on albums. Now I'm not going to say this album was slept on, but I'm going to say that I feel like because it wasn't I feel like this next artist I'm talking about, he's a dope artist, man. I've had him on this platform before. This next artist I'm gonna talk about, I had him on Lost Speaks before a couple of times. I wouldn't say he's one of the popular artists, but he is one of the dopest art. But he is a dope artist, and I do say that when it comes to lyricists, when it comes to bars, when it comes to originality, I gotta give that to this next artist I'm gonna talk about, man. I'm talking about my boy Rodis. He dropped a self-titled album entitled, no, of course, what? Rodis. It was entitled Rodis, and that album, Rodis, was a dope project. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that he didn't move units or anything like that. This is not what we're saying. I don't want nobody to get this confused. I know he moved units, and I know people tapped in. What I mean by overlooked, I mean by I felt like his album wasn't in the conversation of the popularity scene of Chicago. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I say, like, but but his music reached farther than Chicago, so I understand. But what I'm saying is, in this city, we need to get behind a lot more of our artists. And this is one artist who I don't hear in the conversation enough. And he should be, because he's been doing this thing for a long time. And Rodis was a solid project. He got a feature from Cormega's on Cormega is on his album. Cormega used to run with Nas. And he got a dope track on there entitled Kings. The Ladybug song, which was really deep. Like I said, he got a lot of. I didn't really pick a favorite out of that album. His album is one of the albums I didn't pick a favorite song out of, because he had so many great ones that I didn't want to pick. The song called Pastor was, the storytelling vibes on that song was just dope. The storytelling vibes, the originality of that song stood out to me. But like I said, we need to get behind our artists more in this city. And he one of the ones that should have been in the conversation, and he wasn't in the conversation. And that's what I'm gonna say. And I'm gonna say that a lot in this episode. This is what I'm saying. Y'all looking over. The Chicago music scene to me has become so popular that there are certain hidden gems in the city of Chicago that are not talked about enough. And he a person that y'all need to be put in a conversation. That's all I'm gonna say about that one. But y'all go check out the album Rodis. It's actually, you can go right on his website, rodisonline.net, and you can get that and all of his projects. So you go on his website. I'm gonna have a link to that in the description as well. I'm plugging these artists today, y'all. I'm talking, and like I say, these artists are in my rotation of albums. So I'm going so today episode is all about pushing good albums that I'm listening to and I'm hearing. Another person who I want to talk about, though, who I feel might or might not be in a conversation. Now, if he's not in a conversation, I want to know why. This next artist, I believe he's only been out a year or so, I think. I feel like he's been only doing his thing for a year or so. He might have been doing it longer if I'm not mistaken. But So y'all remember that Lost Speaks went on a break. When Lost Speaks came back, we had a guest by the name of Chemistry Beats. Chemistry Beats manages an artist by the name of G Osama. G Osama is a dope artist. I'm just gonna put it to you like that. And I wasn't as familiar with his music as a lot of these other people's albums who I listen to. But he just recently dropped the album that I just recently put in my rotation. And I'm wondering, this is just me thinking to myself and wondering, like, is G Osama in the conversation? If he ain't, he should be. And listening to his album, I can imagine, I never seen a man perform live, but I can imagine if I seen him perform live, that it's a whole vibe. Now, yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all like this, and I'm gonna be straight up and I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I had his manager on here, and I talked to her, and she told me the type of artist he was. But I didn't know what to expect from his actual album. I was highly surprised, and I'm like, man, this dude is dope. It's why I don't hear more about him. I heard about him once. I heard his name once. I literally heard that man's name mentioned once. But I'm saying, why haven't I heard more about this artist? Like, why isn't, because to me, this is what I feel. I feel like sometimes we get fed the same artists over and over, and now certain dope artists that are not mentioned in conversations that they should be in. And I'm like, is G Osama in a conversation? Now, if G Osama's not in the conversation, somebody needs to put him in the conversation, because he dropped a solid project. His project is entitled, now I wrote this down so I won't forget, Osama Reincarnated. I was highly surprised at that album. Like, we gonna talk about the hooks on that album. The hooks on that album were very animated. The hooks on that album gave me Cold Heart vibes. Cold Heart, Crucial Conflict, that's the vibes I got from some of his hooks on the album. One of the tracks that really made me really tap into who G Osama is his track True Story. I heard True Story and I'm like, damn, it's like that. It's like I felt for some, it made me feel him as a person, not just as an artist. It made me feel him as a person. So True Story is one of the standout ones to me. Of course, 10 is a hit. You know, I've played that on you heard that on today's episode. I played that on a couple episodes back as well. That is a certified hit. It's just, I can't explain it, but I like that. I like that. I like that song. That song that song get me hyped. But then we got to talk about the last track on Osama Reincarnated though. I am him. That man with that track is not playing no games, man. He is not playing games with y'all with that. He ain't playing games. When it comes to I Am Him, he's not playing games on that track. So shout out to him, man, on a solid project. And I believe this is his debut project. Shout out to him on that. Shout out to him on that. Let's see. Where do we go from there? Xavier two times. I've been a fan of Xavier two times music since I first heard him. Y'all know, the first song I heard from him, of course, was a song called Poison. And when I seen him, I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is a rapper, but he was up there singing R&B. But then I got more in tune with him and heard more of his music, and I'm like, yeah, he's a rapper. He's an MC. And when I listen to Xavier 2 Times music, I'm like, man, this guy is talented. He's gonna go far. His sound is different. His vibe is just different. He got what it takes to be one of the greatest artists. And with Xavier 2 Times project, he has a project that he dropped called In the Meantime, Volume 1. Now, about this Volume 1. Now, that's another one of the projects that I didn't pick a favorite because I liked the whole project, and it's like he was taking you. If the Odyssey took you on a journey, like like Doty G Mac's album, I said that took you on a journey. Xavier 2 Times project, though, that was, to me, in my opinion, that's a biopic in music form. I love biopics, but that's a biopic in music form. So on that project, you're getting Xavier 2 Times in different points of his life, basically. And if you listen closely to me, I was hearing like, damn, this is a biopic. I dang near envisioned a video for all the songs on that project. So it was almost like you have a biopic in music form. It's a biopic in music forms. So that's a solid project. It's called In the Meantime, Volume 1. So y'all go check that out. Go check that biopic in music form out now on all platforms, y'all. Y'all have to check that out. That's all I'm gonna say about that. It's a biopic in all forms. And if you listen to music the way I listen to music a little differently. I listen to music in an observant manner. So that's like a biopic in music form. So y'all check out Xavier 2 Times project In the Meantime. And as the world turns round and round and round and round and round, we go to the next album that I love that is in my list. I'm trying to knock out all these rappers that I have on the list. I got some singles on my list too, y'all, but I'm trying to rap with these rappers. And I'm gonna tell you before I go any farther that it was hard to narrow this down. Like I don't want to give every single album that I'm listening to in my rotation on the episode, but I want to pick. So I just narrowed it down to a few of them. So we got so this one I was iffy because I might have been slightly biased, but then I had but listening again, I'm like, you know what? Nah, this is not biased. This is not a biased decision. This next album was not biased decision. It was a good album altogether. It's just a good album altogether. And I couldn't say that this wasn't a good album. Even taking my biasness out of it, like this is a good album. I'm talking about Party of the Five, y'all. Now, if you listen to Law Speaks, I played this music a couple of times, and a lot of the listeners are aware that Party of the Five is my cousin. Yes, that's my blood cousin, y'all. And and his album Mixed Emotions is a dope project. Like I said, that's why I said I had to take my bias out a little bit. Like I said, I could have been slightly biased, but you can't deny a good project, and that's a good project. It's a good project altogether. Like if it really gave you mixed emotions, it gave you the turn up emotions, gave you the sad emotions. It's almost like he dedicated the album to his deceased loved ones. So I think that is a solid project, man. If you like albums that tug at your heartstrings and tug at your emotions, Mixed Emotions is a good album for you to listen to. It's a vibe all the way through. The songs that I suggest on that album that you listen to get the full that I like the most on that album was I like Going Off, which was an intro track. I like this song called What's Up and Left for Dead. Now Left for Dead was like one of the deepest songs on that project to me, because he was talking about how he had hard times in his life and how some of the people that was closest to him passed away. it was really it tugged at my heartstrings, man, and that's why I like that album. I think that Mixed Emotions, I mean that song Left for Dead, I like that one. But that's all I'm gonna say about that. So we're moving on. Oh, looks like I got one more rapper on this list. KASH Go Crazy. KASH Go Crazy, y'all. KASH Go Crazy. I thought I talk about KASH Go Crazy album. Cash App. I thought I let y'all know how dope that album is. Thought I tell y'all that she's one of the dopest hip hop female artists in the city of Chicago. Thought I tell y'all about some of my favorite songs. I'm sorry. Okay, so we're gonna talk about Cash App. Now I'm gonna tell y'all how I first got in tune with KASH Go Crazy. I first got in tune with KASH Go Crazy. There was some chitter chatter. There was some chat about a song entitled Diamonds by an artist by the name of KASH Go Crazy. And I heard this song. I'm like, okay, you know, this is a rapper. This is a dope female rapper. I'm like, this dope female rapper. She's giving you sexy. She's giving you bars. And I'm like, okay. I'm feeling her music, you know. And I got the opportunity to see her perform at an event at Joe's Bar and Grill. And I'm like, oh, okay, she got something. She got something. And then I got a chance to, you know, see her perform a couple other times as well. And when it comes to KASH Go Crazy Cash App, now Cash App is spelled actually KASH. So Cash is spelled her name. Her name is spelled with a K, y'all. Everything's with a K. KASH Go Crazy. The Cash is with a K and the Crazy is with a K. So everything's with a K. And Cash App was dope. I listened to that album when it first came out. It was like that was one of the albums that I anticipated low key. And the album dropped. When the album dropped at midnight, I listened to it at midnight. I put it on the TV, sat back and listened to the album straight through. From my first listen, my favorite songs on KASH Go Crazy Cash App were originally Party, Bag, and GM, which stands for Good Morning, right? First listen. Then with my 3 favorite tracks. Dope project, right? Now, listening again, I heard another song that turns out to be an actual fan favorite from that album entitled Billy, which is basically Bitch I Love You. Right? And I look at that, listen to that song, right? Man. Whoo. That song is heating up. And then when she performs that song, everybody get into it. It's like you could feel it. This ain't no sneaky lick, baby. This shit for real. I'm really trying to lock you down and bring it. I'm not finna go because I'm finna mess the words up. I always mess the words up. Sorry, Cash. I mess your words up a lot. But Billy, that's like became like an anthem. It's like, and then ta-da, like it's the way she delivered that song and the way she talks about it. And it's crazy because I don't know who can do it right besides her. I don't think nobody can do it right besides her. I think everybody might try, but I don't think nobody's gonna be able to do it like that. This ain't no sneaky lick, baby. This shit for real. I'm really trying to lock you down and bring this shit a deal. Like that. See what I'm saying? Only part I can probably get right is I thought I attempt to try to get it right, but I just proved my point that I don't think nobody's going to get it right. If you get it, if you could get it right, man, y'all I allow y'all to go on Facebook, tag KASH Go Crazy, tag and tag me, Terrell Lawson T Law, tag me, and I want y'all to see if y'all listen. I want y'all to first go to all streaming platforms and listen to Cash App. That's KASHAPP. You spell her artist name KASHGOKRAZY. And I want y'all to listen to Billy. And I want y'all to attempt it. And if y'all can get it right, if y'all can get it right, right, y'all let me know. Tag both of us, and I want y'all to say, Law Speaks. I want y'all to say, Terrell from Law Speaks said, attempt to do the Billy chorus. This ain't no sneaky leak, baby. Attempt to do it, and we gonna see who do it the best. So that's my challenge to y'all. So that's my challenge to y'all. So I challenge y'all that tag me, tag KASH GOKRAZY, and I want to see who do it the best, and see if y'all do it better than me. You feel me? All right. Now that we had some fun, it's time to get to some R&B. Some R&B. And I'm not gonna get I gotta get with my boy. I gotta get to my boy Treble. Because I done gave y'all a hip-hop artist in the rotation. I got some good R&B in my rotation as well. I got to get to my boy Treble the singer. Now, when I first seen Treble the singer, it was we were actually on an event together. It was at Joe's Bar and Grill. And I'm like, okay, your name's Treble, like we introduced ourselves to each other. I'm like, so your name Treble like the music note? He said, yeah. I heard him. I'm like, man, this guy got something. I like his vibe. I like his songs. And I got in tune with him, but then I started hearing this other song that he got, River Flows. Once I heard River Flows, I'm like, man, this guy is something to mess with in the R&B realm. He is something to mess with. Vocally and songwriting rise, he's something to mess with. And I'll tell y'all that man is something to mess with in it. And he dropped an album called The Voice. That's THAVOICE, The Voice EP. And hearing The Voice EP, I'm like, man, this project go. I really enjoy and love this project. One song that stood out on there though was Fuck Love. Well, it's actually F***CKLOVE, right? And that song stuck out to me, not because of what it was about, but the way he sung the song stuck out to me. The way he said, F you, and not in the words he said, but the way he sung it, I'm like, bro, I ain't never seen nobody say that smoothly. It just, I don't know. It was something about the way he sung that. I felt it. Novocaine. Man, this man told the girl, your love is like Novocaine. Ain't nothing else I gotta say. That's a dope song just because what it says. He told the girl, your love is like Novocaine. What else do you gotta say when that man tells this girl, your love is like Novocaine? Your love is so much like a drug. Girl, it's like Novocaine. And then, he started off with a song called Vibe on Me. Vibe on Me is good. That's like a good intro song. Like, if that was a great intro song to me. Like, if you want to introduce yourself, it's like an anthem. If you want to introduce yourself, my name is Treble and I bring another level to the game, stuff like that. That's a good way to start an album, a EP or whatever, what have you. Like, I love it. Treble, the voice. Like, I liked Treble album so much that when it dropped, I did a whole review on. I basically gave people a review of that album when it dropped on my page, and I'm actually probably gonna do that for more albums later. I'm thinking about getting more into that, like listening to albums and giving out my full review on the songs and full review on the songs. That's just me. That's something I'm thinking about, But Treble the singer, the voice, that album, whew, R&B is not dead at all. Just telling y'all, R&B is not dead. Treble the singer got what it takes in the R&B, man. He's something to be messed with in the R&B realm. But another person who ain't nothing to play with when it comes to this R&B is G.S The Brand. Man, G.S The Brand. Ooh, boy. G.S The Brand. Man, the reason, I'm not gonna lie, what drew me to G.S The Brand music was his music reminded me heavily of R. Kelly. And I was a big fan of R. Kelly. You know, R. Kelly was like my first influence in music. And because I was such a big fan of R. Kelly, G.S. The Brand vibe and music drew me to that. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I was drawn to his music. The first song that drew me was a song he had called My Everything. And just telling you, when I first heard that song, and I'm like, he was like, got my hands on the waist, my hands on the bars, yeah, yeah. I'm like, I'm listening to that song, I'm like, bro, and the way the crowd reacted. And I'm like, man, this guy ain't nothing to play with at all. Then I heard the song, If It's Not So Easy. And then I'm like, man, this guy got countless of songs. And let me not forget, and let's not forget that G.S. The Brand also raps as well. He raps, he raps, sings, he sings, he raps, and he engineers his own music. I know y'all gonna say, oh, well, a lot of people engineer their own music. This man engineers, mixes his own music, and it sounds really good. Like, but G.S. The Brand album, Love Ain't Felt This Good in a While. Man, that man album dropped. Now he'll tell you that he doesn't get the love that he think he should, but that man album took over my timeline. When his album dropped, it literally took over my timeline. Like I'm not even BSing y'all. It took over the timeline. That man dropped that album, and the timeline was took over. All you sing was G.S. The Brand, Love Ain't Felt This Good in a While. G.S. The Brand, Love Ain't Felt This Good in a While. That's all you sing. That man is, when I told you that R&B is not dead, Treble the singer and G.S. The Brand are just a couple of them that keeping the R&B name alive. And there's a couple of other ones, artists, R&B artists who I'm just getting in tune with. And I'm trying to say, and this is what I be saying, sometimes I feel like, that's why I say a lot of the Chicago scene is also a popularity contest, but that's not this episode. We're going to get into that later. But G.S. The Brand, that album, Love Ain't Felt This Good in a While, when I tell you no skips, I didn't want to skip not one song on that album. The songs that I liked the most, though, were Call On, Shaded Love, and Where I Want to Be. And Where I Want to Be, I just love the way he wrote that song. I just love the writing on that song. Shaded Love, I like the flow of that song. And Call On, I just like Call On just in general. That album is one of the greatest R&B albums that came out this year from the independent industry. So, and I'm saying that right now on my platform, and that is one of the greatest R&B albums. That album was a vibe. And if I'm not mistaken, there were actually 2 songs that wasn't even on the album that would have gave the album an extra push, because that was a song I heard. He was on a radio show. G.S. Brand was on a radio show giving an exclusive for the album, right? And that was a song that I heard that he had featuring Tia Songbird, and it was called Silly Love, I think. But that song's not on the album. I'm not really sure why it's not on the album. I will find out one of these days. I've been trying to get G.S. The Brand on it for a while. I did talk to him about it, so we still trying to work that out. I'm still trying to get him on here. But G.S. The Brand, man, dope project. Love Ain't Felt This Good in a While. Like I said, now I'm gonna say this though, y'all. When y'all drop y'all album, when y'all drop y'all album, when y'all drop y'all singles, Lost Speaks is always watching. I'm gonna say it like that. Lost Speaks is always watching, y'all. We are always watching. But here's the thing. I might not always share y'all albums, because sometimes I just don't get a chance to. I might not always be able to comment on everything y'all do, because there's some artists that I might not even follow. Some of the artists that I'm probably gonna mention, I don't even follow half y'all. But I'm always paying attention to the scene and the music y'all have out. And y'all are dropping dope albums, and it's inspiring me. Trust me, y'all are inspiring me. Y'all been inspiring me a lot lately because listening to y'all dope projects, it gave me some fuel for mine. Gave me new motivation for mine. Just want to say that. But I got a couple more R&B artists on this list. Chakalatay Berry is another dope female artist. R&B art. She's a dope female artist. She has a project, which I'm not sure if this is basically her project or was this like a compilation. But she has an album out called Blood of the Shy. And it features people like KASH GOKRAZY, LSC, A Boog, Nino Corleone. I might be forgetting some people. If whoever I'm forgetting, y'all let me know who I'm forgetting if y'all have heard this album, Blood of the Shy. Oh, it got Dirty Eagle on it. It got Holly D Bars on it. This album is like Chicago unity. I love the Chicago unity of this album. And I felt like this was more of a compilation, but it's a dope album that I do have in my rotation. I like the most about it. I liked it that the songs were all collaborative. And I liked how the chemistry in the songs didn't feel off. You know, sometimes you collab with a person on a project or an album or a song. Sometimes the chemistry can seem a little off. And the chemistry did not seem off on no songs. But my favorite ones from this one, my first favorite one from this project had to be Tonight, featuring LSC and Shoe Chef. I just love the vibe of that. We getting high tonight. Take it to the sky tonight. We getting high off life, baby. You know, I like that. And then you got Now featuring A Boog. And y'all know who A Boog Carter is, man. Y'all need to get into him. He's one of the most energetic and talented performers from the city of Chicago. Y'all know. So y'all make sure to check out A Boog Carter. If y'all want to know the essence of him, look at his Facebook. His resume is long. He's a radio host. He's a host. He's an artist. He's a designer. Y'all check out A Boog Carter, man. He got a song called Bigfoot, and he got a song called Yelp. So y'all check them out. Y'all check him out. But he's on Blood of the Shy like 2 times. But the one collaboration I like is the one he got with is the one they got called Now. I like the vibe of that record. I like how they bounced off each other on that record. I like the chemistry of that record. The chemistry of that record was dope. And another one of my favorite songs was on the Blood of the Shy was, I think I'm saying it right, Bet 'Em. It features Holly D Bars and Dirty Eagle. I just like that song. I don't know. That song was just good. It might have been the chord from the chorus to the verses. That song stood out to me. And that's why I like that. So y'all check out the Blood of the Chakalatay Berry, the Blood of the Shy. They just dropped a remastered version of the album. So y'all check that out. I think we almost at the end of the list. We are. There's another artist who I just got in tune with that's in my rotation. Her name is Dey Marie. She got an album called Daylight. With a play on the word daylight is DEYLIGHT. That album. Now I'm gonna be honest. When I first heard about that album and I listened to it, I was iffy about listening to the album. Not because I thought anything would have been wrong with it or that it wasn't gonna be good. It's just that sometimes that album was highly talked about and anticipated. And it was like everybody was so hyped about the album. The album had a lot of hype behind it. And I'm going to say it didn't disappoint. So I'm going to say that. The album didn't disappoint. And when you talk about R&B, that album was just a great R&B album altogether. With songs like Sextivity, Take Me High, and All Yours, that got that album put in my rotation. They're one of 3 songs I actually put on my personal Apple playlist, but I listened to the whole album, and that album was a vibe for real. It's just based on the hype. I was iffy about it, but I'm gonna tell y'all was right about that hype, y'all. Y'all was right. Y'all are perfectly right. I got one more album to talk about. My boy, Trillabbent. Got to talk about him, man. When I first seen him, I felt that he was a rapper, but this man is an R&B singer. No matter what he tells y'all, he's a dope singer. But at the end of the day, man, he's a dope singer. I really rock with him, man. He a dope singer. He's very positive. He's supportive. That's one thing that I can say about him. He's supportive. And he got dope music, man. He's a person that you can't sleep on. You can't sleep on him. His album, Individual. You cannot sleep on him because his presence is so strong musically that he can't be slept on. His presence is overly strong musically, so you can't sleep on him. So let me tell y'all. Y'all know he got the song Fool for You. Baby, I'm a fool for you. Didn't even know what to say. Y'all know what I'm saying? He got that song. He got This world is so dangerous. Suit his soul, that's that angel does. You know, he got that song. What else? And he also got a song I like, How Many Times? How many times you want to lie to people? Like I said, I listened to the album. So I'm not just saying that because, you know, me and him cool or whatever. I'm not just saying that because me and him cool and like, oh, I want y'all to support him. Like, nah, that man really got a dope album. And I really want y'all to support this guy's album. Because Individual is a dope album, man. If you talk about R&B, it's a dope album. It's like he's been compared to Ty Dolla $ign a lot, and I can see why. I'm just gonna tell y'all like this: he's been compared to Ty Dolla $ign a lot, and I can see why. But that is all the albums I got. But I want to thank y'all for tuning in, man, and sitting with me and letting me tell y'all about albums that's on my playlist or that's in my rotation, man. Is there any albums that you think that should be on my rotation that y'all feel that's not, man? Let me know, man. Leave them in the comments below. And for the record, and I'm talking about independent artists. For the record, they don't have to be from the city of Chicago. So any record that you think that's not in my rotation that I need to listen to and check out, let me know, man. Drop a line, drop it down below, drop it in the comments. Email me, let me hey, Law, man, this need to be in your rotation. How come this not in your rotation? Like I say, there's a lot of other artists' albums that's in my rotation as well that I just didn't mention. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of artists that's in my rotation I didn't mention. You know, y'all know B's album stay in my rotation. Easy O'Hare album stay in my rotation. You know what I'm saying? The Mark Gibbons, they in my rotation. You know what I'm saying? But any album that y'all think that I don't know about, that I should know about, and that should be in my rotation, y'all let me know, man, down below. Y'all let me know. And I'll listen to it because I listen to it on my downtime when I got time when I'm on my way to work. Listen to my albums, man. Yeah, but I just think that it's important sometimes that, you know, as a platform that supports independent artists and a platform for independent artists, that I tell the people out there what albums what albums I suggest they listen to. Because if I'm going to say I'm a platform for independent artists, I have to put y'all on to independent artist music that I think are dope. That's where the artist of the month come from. Like I said, every artist who we make artist of the month, we fans of their music. Like I listen to their music, I know their music. I sit here singing their music and rapping their music. I might be messing their songs up, but I sit here and listen to them and rap them. But before I leave though, I do have to tell y'all two people. There is two artists who have albums that I'm waiting for that drop in October. So Doug Olake, baby, he drops an album. He's dropping an album in October. Hopefully, because it was supposed to drop last year, I think, but he pushed it back. But he's dropping an album in October. I believe, I might be wrong on this title, but I believe the title was Love Lessons. And I'm waiting for that album because I've heard songs from it. I heard snippets. So we've all heard Cut Off I've actually showcased Cutoff when we used to do like Law Speaks Live. I played Cutoff a couple of times, and we all know his hit single, Just Saying. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? We all know that one. I fucks with you heavily, shorty, but we got for rarity. Ain't no comparing, apparently. We get high just for the clarity. Always on the side of you. They know I'm a ride for you. That's why I'd rather die, because I love the shit out of you. I'm just saying. We all know I'm just saying, right? Come on, we all know I'm just saying. Let's not act like we don't know I'm just saying. And fellas, let's not act like we not going to say that song ain't words you should sing to your lady. Matter of fact, I'm going to do y'all a favor. I'm going to put the link to Just Saying in the comments. Well, not in the comments, I'm sorry. In the description, just so y'all can see why this album is heavily anticipated and why that song is the ultimate tell your girl I love you song ever. So I'm going to put Doug Lake's song in the comments because I want y'all to understand one thing about Doug Lake, right? That song is dope. Now, somebody else wrote the song for him, but the songwriter on that is good. He got a song called Last Time. He also have another song. I don't know the name of it, but I've heard him play it on lives, and I believe I've heard it on my radio Chicago where he was saying, I gotta move on. I gotta be strong. I gotta go on my own. I'm not gonna hit that. I'm not gonna hit that note. But whatever that song is, I don't know the name of that song. Whatever that song is, I'm waiting for that song too. So I'm waiting for Doug Lake's album, which is supposed to be coming out in October. So hopefully it drops in October, but I'm waiting for that album, which I believe the name is Love Sessions. That's one album I'm actually anticipating. Also, another artist I'm anticipating is my boy Local Lunatics dropping a project October 31st. It's gonna be called In the Mouth of Madness. So of course I'm waiting for that project. I've been waiting for that project since I first heard the man music, Local Lunatic, man. It was just something about him. I heard him, he got on Drake's song. He said Loke killed Drake shit. That's basically what he did. And man, I've been rocking with Loco since day one as far as when I first heard his music. And I've been supporting that, man. And I'm going to heavily support his music because I like it. And he's a supportive artist as well. But I'm waiting for Local Lunatic's album as well. So those are my two albums that I'm waiting to put in my rotation. Doug Lake Project and Local Lunatic. They're my two albums I'm waiting to put. But other than that, man, thank y'all for joining me, man, in another episode of Law Speaks. Shout out to all the artists out there doing your thing. Man, y'all keep dropping that hot music. And don't forget, man, if y'all want to send, and don't be afraid to send the music over here to Law Speaks, man. We play it, man. I listen to it, then I play it. See what episode it goes on. What episode it fit with. So y'all let me know. Y'all send the music over, man. Law Speaks. Y'all can send it to lawspeaks2u@gmail.com. That's LAWSPEAKS, the number 2, the letter U, @gmail.com. Send your music over, MP3 or WAV format, and let me know where I can find you at. And social media, let me know if it's out on streaming platforms or not. You know, and don't holler at me if you want to interview. Go to our website, go to the book an interview tab, book your interview. Interview dates are open. And other than that, man, that's all I got. Thank y'all for joining me. Next week, I'm coming back with another different type of topic. And I got some new music to play. And I got music from another a new artist that I'm playing next week. So y'all tap in next week. I'm introducing y'all to I'm introducing y'all to a new artist. I think they've been out for about just a year now, so I'm introducing y'all to a new artist next week. I'm going to be playing her music next week, so y'all tune in, and y'all just keep it locked on Law Speaks. Talk to y'all later. We out.